Today's lesson is called Using Place Value to Round. So here's my title. It's lesson 1.5. And I don't need to fold this into 3 parts today because they're not going to be 3 column notes. I'm actually going to fold it in half. When you use place value to round, you look at the number to the right of what they're asking you. So I'm going to write those instructions first. So say the directions want you to round to the 100,000s place. I'll write that. Then here's a number, 268,390. The greatest numbers in the 100,000s place, then we have the 10,000s place, the thousands place, hundreds, tens, and ones. They want us to round to the 100,000s place, which is where the 2 is. So I am going to look to the number to the right. So I go to the right of the 100,000s place and I have a 6. Think about whether this rounds up to 270,000. I'm sorry, if it rounds up to 300,000 or down to 200,000. Well, I write a tip. If the number is 6, 7, 8, or 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you round up. Okay, so we have a 6 in the 10,000s place. That determines what we do with this too. We are going to round up because these numbers are large numbers. So the answer is 300,000. It makes sense because, again, we asked, does 268,390 round down to 200,000 or up to 300,000? And then we tried a second strategy, and that was to look at the number to the right of the place value that they were asking for. So a couple of things. You look to the number to the right. There are instructions on the page, and it tells you what place to round to. And we're talking about the 100,000s place. You look to the number to the right. It's a 6 in the 10,000s place. So our number rounded up to 300,000. And then I want you to keep in mind that after you rounded this 2 up to a 3, you write zeros after the place value you rounded to. Everything after the 100,000s place is going to be a 0. Let's keep that in mind. It's trying to run out of room here. So whenever you round, make sure that everything after the digit you rounded to is a 0. Keep that in mind. Okay, so now I have another number for you, and you are going to have a little time to practice rounding. We have this number. Okay, you're going to have a couple, a minute to practice saying that number to yourself. And this activity requires that you round, this is the number you said, 284,761 to the nearest 100,000 place. Okay, we know where that one's located. You could do this on a whiteboard or on your notes while I am giving you the next set of, I'm writing the next set of directions. Okay, the next number you would write would be 284,761 rounded to the nearest 10,000s place. So if you are solving these on a whiteboard or a piece of paper, you would underline the 10,000s place and you look to the right. And now you're going to practice rounding 284,761 to the nearest 100. You definitely want to rewrite the number and underline the hundreds place and look to the right. If you're using a whiteboard and marker, you don't have to erase it. You could just erase what you underlined. Okay, some more practice. You're going to round 284,000 to the nearest 10. You can be doing this right now. And I think it's a good time to go over these answers. So the first one I wrote said, round to the nearest 100,000s place. So I am going to underline with a pencil because I'm going to have to erase. And I'm going to look at the number to the right That's one of these large numbers which tell me to round up. And the answer is, you said it, 300,000. Since I'm not using a whiteboard, I'm going to erase. And I'm going to do this one. Let's round to the nearest 10. That means I go to the tens place. I look at the neighbor to the right. If the number is not one of the large numbers, it is 1, 2, 3, or 4, you round down. I should write that, and I will. I'm going to put it in here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, or 4 on the right. Round down. So, go ahead, call out the answer. Rounding to the nearest 10. Rounding down. I'm glad I'm doing this one because the answer is 284,000. We leave the front the same. 700, and then is it going to be 6 or is it going to be 7? Well, this is 1. We rounded down. We rounded down to 6. We never round down below the number. I would not say you round down to 5. When you round down, the number stays the same. So the answer when you round to the nearest 10 here is 284,760. At this time, you can work on rounding to the nearest 100. You can work on that. I don't underline the tens place now. I'm going to underline the hundreds place. And I'm going to put one more set of directions while you're working. Okay, and I'm going to do this last one. We rounded to the nearest 100. I underline the 7. I look at the neighbor to the right. It is one of the large numbers, so I round up. And the answer is 284,800. Hey, I wrote in pencil. You have 2 left to do without me. Again, this was using place value to round. You're going to usually get directions. You're going to get directions that tell you what place value to round to, and you always look to the right.